Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wood and I'm joined by my co-host Katrina Zigwolf. Katrina is filling in for Donna, and it was a last minute thing, and I really want to thank you for being here. Kat is the one that brings the show to you each and every week. She's usually behind the cameras, but she does a great job out here. Army veteran, thank you for your service. We have a special show today. We've had, in the past, we're going to be talking about Veterans Equine Therapy Services called VETS. Now, we've had Healing Hoofbeats. We've had somebody from Middletown affiliated with Middlesex Hospital. So we're always looking for groups like this. And we have Thor Torgerson. Did I say it right?
Excellent, perfect.
Look at that.
Very good, very good.
And the viewers know that I always butcher names, so that's I got it straight. Great to have you here, Thor.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Initially, we were supposed to have Nico with us.
Yes, we were, and unfortunately, he's under the weather.
Yeah, he called me this morning, and I'm not a doctor, obviously. I don't even play one on TV. But I said COVID, and sure enough.
Yeah.
So send him our best, and we hope he's feeling better, and we look forward to seeing him maybe the next time.
100%.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then what got you?
Yeah, so my name is Thor Torgerson. I'm co-founder of Veterans Equine Therapeutic Services with Christina Clark and Craig McAllister, who unfortunately passed away in March. But I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. My first memory is being on the back of a horse with my mother, and second memory is falling off of that horse, and her kind of reaching down and say, "You got to get back up and get back in the saddle."
That is true.
Did a lot of horse stuff in Florida, ended up leaving there, going to study martial arts with a gentleman in Virginia at Old Dominion University, ended up moving to Japan. And once I came back from that, I was doing some security work, ended up kind of running into a lot of people from the Navy and some of the Navy special operations, because they all wanted to work in the nightclubs where I was kind of working. So ended up doing some stuff with them and kind of got pulled into doing a little bit of contracting for them for a while, and then started going into horse withdrawal and moved up here and started working with an organization called Horses Healing Humans, and was working with children with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. So we were doing traditional equine therapy work, and was approached by Craig McAllister to start VETS as a totally focused on veterans equine therapeutic center.
And you're veteran adjacent, so
Yes,
you got to see both sides of the action.
100%. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on military bases, and my uncle growing up was base commander at Fort Story down in Virginia Beach. So yeah.
And how did that get you into creating this niche?
So it was interesting when, because we have the warrior mentality, right? So it's one of these things that it's whether it's martial arts or it's the military, there's a mindset and those types of things. So it maps very well with what we're doing. And the other side with the horses is very empathetic, and there's a big piece of that as far as learning to be, empathetic, and the military has a very good process of kind of getting that out of people, especially if you're deploying into combat. And it's one of those that a lot of the individuals who come to the farm, we find that they're looking for to get back to kind of some of that sensitivity, and they don't teach you in school really how to kind of get back to that. No. So, yeah.
And so what is the mission statement of VETS?
So the mission and vision is that we have created a space where we can provide therapeutic activities for veterans at no cost to them ever.
Oh, nice, nice.
And it really is, that's kind of what we've done is spend most of our time, providing service and trying to get the fundraising to kind of drive that. And we've actually been doing very well. We've created some strategic partnerships and have been able to do that, and the process that we're doing and the programs that we're producing are expanding. So we started with the equine program when we were younger. We've moved into a USA certified archery program, which
cool.
also helps with
try it.
a lot of the life skills. And we are just starting a outdoor, that's called the Ruck Up Outdoor Adventure School for veterans. And everything that we do is really wrapped in the idea of learning life skills through other events, right? So, if I just taught you how to ride a horse, or I just taught you how to work a horse, the second you leave the farm, what are you going to do with those skills if you're never around the horses again? But the horses are very good at teaching us life skills, empathy, trust-based relationships, nonlinear problem solving, all these types of things.
Patience.
And patience, 100%.
We don't
and
have patience.
Being present. And you can't fool a horse. They're pretty sentient.
They know what's up.
100%. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your service. Working side by side with the military.
Yeah, I am very lucky that I have a very strong board of directors and a very strong volunteer cadre who enable us to provide to do the work that we do. Without them and without the volunteers and our board of directors, we wouldn't be where we're at. So it is definitely a team or a tribe type of environment. Yeah,
It's great. We're always looking for groups like yours, Equine Therapy with PTSD and all that.
Yeah.
We found just by the shows that we've had here, we have one group from Healing Hoofbeats who's been here countless. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, and Renee's was here 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yep.
And she must have been on this show at least a dozen times. So, we love having groups like that. It's interesting. It's another form of therapy that it's very effective.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. It's a lot of equine therapy started after the First World War in Germany, and an individual and what they were seeing is that soldiers, because equine, the horses in the First World War were very integral to the war, so it was kind of one of those that what happened was they were seeing that individuals who were injured, the only thing that really can mimic your body regulates your neural pathways through bipedal motion, through walking, right? And the only way that you can really mimic that is on the back of a horse. And we've done that, and we've seen a lot of the studies working with autistic children and children with Downs and cerebral palsy, that putting them on the back of the horse helps repair those neural pathways.
Wow.
And so they started getting that data, and how the history that I read, there was a woman from High Hopes, who were the founders there, brought the German school of equine therapy over to the United States, and they kind of started that over in Niantic and brought it to the United States, and that's where the majority of people who are doing this now get their certification. So I got my equine specialist in mental health and learning through High Hopes over there. And in equine therapy is where, I guess, chiropractic and acupuncture were probably 20 years ago, and the military is just starting to see that there is actual data that it's working. So
I think the bilateral stim stuff, they're coming along with the EMDR and the clicking and the eye movements and things like that. Any of these things that is bilateral, it gets your brain resynced, and especially if you've got this big giant sweetheart under you, you feel safe, and you know that they're going to take care of you. You can just relax and let it happen. Healing begin.
Yeah, and
it's fascinating. I hadn't thought
horses
about it.
definitely help you relax.
Yes,
it's amazing that it's horses have the human body works on electrical current, right? And it's one of these things that literally they can detect the electrical current outside of your body. And for humans, it's usually about the size of a basketball, but for horses, it's 3 times that. So standing near a horses are sympathetic in that their heartbeat will regulate with your heartbeat, and you have the ability. And it's crazy when you see it, and it really works. That they naturally have a calming influence on humans, and so just being in the presence of horses is healing and therapeutic. So.
A real quick story. The first group that we had here, I forgot, we've had so many guests. I forgot her name, but it was through the barn that's down in the south end of Middletown. And they're affiliated with Middlesex Hospital. And I went down there after they were on the show. She was on the show, and I went down there, and it was the first time I've been around horses.
Yeah.
And, you know, and she handed me with the rein, the rope.
Yep.
Technology terms, right? I'm not up to date with that. But, she started laughing because I was staring like, what do you want me? 1,200-pound animal next to me. If he wants to take off, he's going to do that. Just stood there. Over time, I was, you know, an old colleague from my past life working with the state. He unfortunately passed. His widow, his wife, went into, and she got a horse, and it's 10 minutes up the road from me. So I was going up there, and for a while there, it was relaxing. And I wasn't, you know, looking up at this big animal standing next to you, because it is intimidating the first time.
Well, they are prey animals. As big as they are not predators.
I found that
so
out.
they are hardwired to get along for their own survival. So they will try to get along, and if you can meet them any part of the way, they will go the rest of the distance for you, especially if they're in these programs. They've been hand-selected, and they just hearts of gold, and you really can just feel, okay, I got a teammate here. So
I went from being nervous standing next to, you know, this horse to being completely relaxed. Every time I would go up there, her horse's name was Diego. Diego would recognize me. And come up and just do one of these numbers and launch me back 10 feet in a playful manner every time I went up there. So.
Well, we do that too, to be fair.
Yeah,
so, you know.
you do. It took me a while to get back in the seat today. Thor, can you share with how the program has grown since conception, when it started?
Yeah, when Craig McAllister approached Christina Clark and myself, literally we were looking for a barn, and we were in the backyard of a very generous woman who had 2 horses, and we had 2 veterans, and it was myself teaching, and we've gone to now to where the facility is out at Lighthouse Homestead and Stables. We have 36 acres of property that we have access to with trails, an indoor arena, outdoor arena. We currently have 6 horses in our herd that we're using for the program. And we literally have, probably on our Saturday classes, we have 20 to 25 individuals from volunteers and veterans who are out there. We've got an 85% retention rate for people who have been coming back to the program. So a lot of long-term individuals there who credit the program with them still being here. And that's one of the big things of moving the needle. So
I tell you, me being in Bristol, that's I mean, I was going to get to the next question, where you're located. But I know where you're located. In a second, we'll tell the viewers. But for me, I mean, that's a long drive.
Yeah, you can't get there from here.
No, not unless you leave a day ahead of schedule. But one of these times, I mean, it sounds like a great place. Sounds like a great place.
Yeah, it's interesting because having these conversations, it's very difficult to articulate exactly what happens. I mean, if you've never been in the presence of a horse or been there, it loses something in translation. It really is one of those that whenever if I get you down there next to the horse and get both your hands on them, and
well, they're beautiful animals.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it was interesting what you were saying, because part of what I talk to individuals who come out is that, horses are prey animals, and we are the apex predator, and they understand that we shouldn't really be trusted, right? So horses have been, they've had hypervigilance, trust issues, fight or flight issues for millions of years since they've came around, and most of us all understand that those are markers for PTSD, right? So horses are the poster child of PTS, and that has done very well for them for a million years. And it's one of those that, when I have individuals who come in and they're like, well, I've got hypervigilance and trust issues, and, I can't sleep at night. And I'm like, well, you're just a horse. I'm like, we can work with that, and it really is one of those when they understand that. And a big piece of it is, with PTS and those markers, when we're working with the veterans, when you're deploying into combat, those are really great skills to have, right? But when you come back to the CONUS, everybody's like, that's a little weird, but you're going to deploy again in 6 months, so make sure you don't lose those things. And we talk about how to temper, you should be able to know where the fire exits are. You should know where those things are. And it's just learning how to temper some of those and work through them. And a lot of the things that we do with the horses kind of help do that and help us work through those.
Now, you're located
340 New London Turnpike in Stonington, Connecticut. One thing I would like to preface, we are a therapeutic barn, so please contact us before you come by. Don't just drop by. We are providing program all during the week, and it's one of those that we want to make sure that we maintain the privacy of all of the individuals.
Confidentiality.
100%, yeah.
Now, and what makes your program stand out so much? I mean, what are some of the services that you offer?
So it's interesting, Stan. I mean, anyone who is doing veteran work, more power to them. I mean, it's one of those things that there should never be a competition. I think everybody, I mean, it's wonderful that, wonderful and sad that private organizations have to be here to pick up the slack.
And I would say it's not for everyone. Not everyone can work with veterans. We're a rough bunch. Some people are just not suited for it, and that's okay.
And that's interesting too, because I've had many people who come up who have horses and want to start therapeutic programs, and I'm like, this may not be for you.
Yes.
I mean, and it's one of those that unfortunately we have lost 2 individuals to suicide that were in our program, and it is a unfortunate byproduct of working with the population. I mean, we are working with mental health issues. So it is one of those that, it seems, oh, you're working with horses and it's nice to be at the barn and you're doing archery and all of these things. But the underlying thing is really we are trying to minimize the number of veteran suicides.
Yes.
We are dealing with mental health. And
they've said that since they've gone to 988, just a 3-digit for the talk line, that the call volume has shot up significantly. So sometimes just making it that much easier, people are more likely to follow through. So they go there and maybe something will bubble up while they're working with the horses and they're like, geez, I didn't even realize how tense or intense I was. And the horse will let you know. They're like, you need to calm down, and they'll help you calm down, but you really have to tune into that animal. And so sometimes that was like, wow, that was great. I got a lot out. They get home and all of a sudden like, too much came out all at once. And sometimes, make sure you have a fallback, have someone to talk to, call the talk line. These things will come up. That's part of getting better, that people don't realize it can really blindside you. But then plan on going back next week and talk to these people. They're there for you to do those things.
The fact that they show up and they reach out to begin with is a remarkable thing. I mean,
yeah, and we try to build a model around that it's really one of those things that, getting the individual off of the couch and to either stop self-isolating or stop self-medicating, get out to the farm, get out with people, do some hard work, learn some things about yourself with people that you can trust, people that have your best interests in mind, and you're doing fun things. I mean, it's really one of those, if I said, hey, I want to come and give you some couch therapy, or do you want to come out and learn archery? Yeah. You're going to get the same outcome, but I would rather go shoot bows and arrows than sit on a couch, right?
Yeah. Being a Navy vet and also a retired lieutenant with corrections, an occupation that leads the pack in suicides.
Yeah, we are looking to expand to corrections for our program. Yeah, first responders and corrections.
Then it'll be firefighters next.
Yes, I really want to expand to veterans because there is no support from that, it's a peer-to-peer organization in corrections, so it's really one of those, it's like grow that, get some resources, get some access, and you should never have to worry about the money.
The vast majority in first responders, corrections, they're veterans anyways. Yeah. Most of them are veterans.
Yeah.
So it's you're dealing with the same thing. We've actually, I don't know if we're going to get through everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I guess.
But
we'll hit the highlights.
It gets deep. It gets deep. I mean, I think that. So you were saying what separates us? It's no cost. If you're a veteran or you want to volunteer, I mean, if it's a veteran, come out to the program. It is no cost for anything. For the archery program, for the equine program, we have a mounted program and a ground program. For the outdoor adventure school, we have another event called Ruck Up, which is 2 days of all of those things put into one. We're working on putting trips together to go to Arlington to see the horses at Arlington. And we are looking lay flowers at Blackjack and Comanche's graves. We're looking at taking veterans up to the Equine Affair, which is up here. So there's always things going on. We've always got things going on, and it's no cost, and it's just being back in the tribe. And a lot of individuals who come, they're like, I missed this camaraderie, I missed the unit cohesion, I missed that type of environment, and that's really what we try to foster.
Website, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you.
Yep, we are vetsct.org, vetsct.org. Have a website there. My phone number is up there, my email. Feel free to reach out and contact me. We are on Facebook as well.
We have it on the screen right now.
Facebook/vetsct. So.
And if someone wanted to help out, either contribute time or resources, how would they go about doing it?
Yeah, we say time, treasure, or talent. So it's one of those things. We are in need of all of those things. They can reach out to us. You're able to donate through our website, or you're able to register or become a volunteer through our website.
Wonderful.
So any of those, however you would like to help, we would graciously receive it.
Excellent. And what's a standout story of a turnaround, or either your life or somebody that you've worked with? Just a short one.
Yeah, there's two individuals. One of them, a gentleman named Randy, who we just did. He was on a piece that they put together for us, so I feel comfortable telling his story. He was homeless for 20 years, Marine Corps veteran, living out in California, had become addicted to drugs. Unfortunately, was hit by a car, came back here to be with family. When he came out to the program, he could not walk, he could not drive, was homeless, and still had his addictions. He came out, and over the years since he had started, he's been at the program about 5 years. He owns his own house. He's bought a brand new car. He's driving. He's the Energizer bunny on the barn. You cannot keep up with him.
Excellent.
And he says that he is now a functioning person in society. And it's one of those, that story, or someone who has come to us and said, I am here because of the program. Those are the successes that keep us going.
I don't think from the past shows that we've done, and I don't think there's been one situation where they haven't been able to successfully help a veteran, or anyone for that matter, seeking equine therapy. The success rate has got to be almost 100%, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Nothing's
but
100%.
Like you said, it's not for everyone. And that's why we're splitting some of the programming, because there are many individuals who are terrified of horses just by virtue of the fact of their size. And we try to work through that, but it's like, hey, come out and shoot some archery, or hey, come to the outdoor school, or and get little touches. And it's we're not going to let you sneak away, because we don't offer programming that fits what you need.
Now, how are you funded?
100% donations. We're trying to get better at the grants. We're trying to find someone who can help us with grants. So if you have any experience, we would love to have someone come and help us with grants. And you can donate financially through the website.
Yeah. One of the questions that we were going to ask is, if people don't have time to volunteer, is there ways to get in touch with you? Probably through the website. There's other ways to help out versus physically showing up.
Certainly. Whether it's equipment, there's many barns around that have extra saddles, extra blankets, those types of things. And just reaching out. It's cards, any of those types of things. It's one of those that letting the veterans know that you're there, letting them know, and time, treasure, or talent, so whichever one of those.
Well, I tell you that we didn't hit all the points that we wanted to talk about, so that brings us to the question is, hopefully maybe we can have you come back.
Would love to come back.
Bring Nico with you.
Yes,
Nico
is very passionate. He is. It took me 2 years to get him on my board of directors, and once he got on, yes, it is. He has not looked back, and there is no holding that man back.
He helped motivate me to get walking back to health again. So
he's one of the most passionate people about veterans.
A vet with problems can bring down 20 people. A vet who has gotten help getting better will help 20 people.
And he's a Greek Army.
He's a Greek Army vet.
Yes.
He's got some great stories about the Greek Army.
He's
the Greek freak.
He's here.
The Greek freak.
Cheers.
Greek freak. He
has his own beer now.
Yeah.
It's called the Greek freak.
He's got his business down in Salem.
Two Brothers Pizza in
Yeah,
Salem.
right by the Four Corners.
And
From what I understand, it's no longer the Four Corners anymore.
It's a roundabout.
roundabout.
It's a roundabout.
But he's always helping veterans, and we're very happy to have him in our network. He's just a wonderful guy, and we're looking forward to having him on the air next time.
Well, we look forward to having you come back.
Thank you very much.
It was great to have you.
Thank you, sir.
With that being said,
Kat, thank you.
Kat, thank you for joining us at the table.
Happy to serve.
That's all the time we have this time for the Veterans Corner. We'll see you next time, and have a great night.
Good night.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the crack of dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the cliffs with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time.